So, high season is, of course, wherever you're going, it's going to be the best for the weather, the festivals, the peak vibes. But, of course, the downside being the crowds and the money. I mean,
Expensive.
yeah, like if you're going at a time where it's high season, people are charging out the butt for things. So, example, most people go to Europe June through August. Of course, we in America, summers where a lot of people are off and more flexible. So that makes sense. And then think about like beachy areas like the Caribbean, the Bahamas, these kind of places are going to be really popular from December to April. So, and like ski towns. I mean, we talk about this with all of our different Colorado episodes. Wintertime, obviously, any time from like December to March, that's going to be peak time for ski towns. So that's what those kind of places look like in high season. But what about shoulder season?
Yeah, shoulder season's interesting. And real quick, just so you guys, we don't want to deter you from going to any ski towns in like the winter, because obviously that's when you ski. But, there are certain blackout dates to avoid. And I say blackout dates as in if like I've got a season pass, a lot of my blackout dates for places are like President's Day, New Year's, St. Patrick's Day, things like that. Again, just look for those holidays. I mean, I know a lot of people have off time on those holidays, but if you can avoid not skiing on them, you really don't want to wait like an hour to get on the chairlift. It's just silly. And now shoulder season. Okay. It's best for great weather, fewer crowds, and better prices. If you can travel during shoulder season, it's amazing. The downside, though, it's got limited events. Obviously, we talked about no more holidays. Slightly unpredictable weather as well. You just kind of have to be prepared. Cold days when it's supposed to be warm, or too hot days when it's supposed to be cold. Example of this in certain travel spots would be Europe. This would be April to May or September to October. I will say, Italy in the summer sucks. Been there, done that. Don't ever want to do that again. It's so hot, and the crowds, honestly, I don't mind the heat because we live in Florida, but a lot of people do mind the heat. So there's that. But also just the crowds. You can't move, can't get a reservation anywhere. You can't do anything. We went in October last year, and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was like the tail end of the season. A lot of these places closed from like November to like March. And so it was just locals. It was locals. It was not crowded, and you didn't even have to make a reservation for half of the things. It was amazing. So that's great. Mexico would be May to November. I went at the tail end of the summer, and there was just Mexicans on vacation, and you didn't have any of these annoying spring break, young kids or wild Americans. Again, not ragging on Americans. I love my people, but I also love my Mexican people because those are also my people. And it was just such a cool vibe to kind of culturally immerse myself and be like, I'm here on vacation with all the Mexicans in August. Like, this is so chill. So again, May to November in Mexico. Japan, late fall, post foliage. So like, if you want to see the foliage, if you want to see the cherry blossoms, yeah, it's going to be crowded, but you're going for what you're going for. And then that's going to give us the low season lowdown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're focused on budget travel and going to quieter places, then low season is going to be your happy time. Of course, this is when weather risks and closures are more likely. I mean, a lot of these cities, tourism is one of their main ways of making money.
Yeah.
And so they will often still be open, but sometimes it's like, if nobody's around, does it make sense to be open? So you
Yeah.
just kind of have to take the risk of knowing that some things might be closed. For example, and this obviously has no bearing on choice because it's weather based, but in Southeast Asia, monsoon season is huge. If you think about hurricane season in the Caribbean, like a lot of these cruises, they'll say, like, if you're cruising at a certain time, be aware that hurricanes are possible. And, in the Mediterranean, like wintertime, you can go there in the wintertime, but it's not going to be ideal necessarily. So I think with some of these areas, they will change pretty dramatically depending on what time of year you go. And again, like Sophia said, in Italy, as with like a lot of the Greek islands, they'll close in the wintertime. So mountain towns will be dead in off season, which again, might be what you want. That might be exactly what you're looking for. National parks, which obviously do their best to stay open year round. Sometimes we'll have road closures that vary by the month, but quiet can be dreamy
Yeah. It can
or
be.
boring.
Or really boring.
It's like, again, to each his own. Like how you travel is your choice. So I would just say check the weather,